Hello and welcome back. Although the sun's shining brightly, it's still quite chilly this morning. Wind's out and that, so what I'm going to start getting the new bed underway, and first of all I've got to sort a few planks out. I've got a few still left in the garden, but there's about half a dozen here. I want to have a look, see what condition these are in at the moment. I think a couple of them have got notches in, but really that shouldn't bother me really, because part of that will be under the soil. These planks have got, as you can see, a bit past the sell-by date, but I'm still fairly firm, the wood is, although there's chunks and it's getting a bit rotten down the bottom. All I want to do really is create a bed shape and work the soil, and as and when the planks rot, I'll replace them with some good firm planks, and I'll intend then to wood treat those as well, but these are just going in as they are. Most of the building planks have these bands around them, metal bands, but I tend to remove these when I'm building a bed because it tightens the corners up a bit better. So the first job is to get the nails out and take them straps off. These are the end boards that I cut yesterday, and so I've left them in the greenhouse so they are quite dry. Last night it dropped quite cold, the wine was cloud about, so I thought it was going to have a bit of frost, so I'll put the candle on again, and I'll just take the cover off and show you. Now these have been on since 4 o'clock last night. It's now just come up to 10 o'clock, so it's 4, 8, 12, 16, 18 hours. And I'm already on 96, so these I'm on 112 hours, and I'll just pick the pot up and show you. 112 hours, that's done, and so that's a Yankee candle jar, so I won't be surprised to that on 200 hours. That's very, very pleased with that. Moving on to the compost bins, Bill from Horticultural Allotment Diaries made a comment on the last one. Usually wanted a bit of closer look at how the bins are. Well, these are just normal standard refuse bins, council bins. I actually picked these up from the place I used to work at. They've got a lot to dispose of, so rather than giving them to landfill or whatever, I rescued half a dozen. And all I've done is I've drilled some 10 or 12 mil holes in the base to let all the moisture out, and around the top, I don't know if you can see up there, just underneath the lip, there is some like air holes to let the air flow through, and that's all it is really. Just fill the bin up with waste, composting. As you can see, there's shredded paper, a lot of it's really nice stuff. I mean, the worms just love it in here, and that's all it is. What I'll do, I'll let the bin fill up to the top, and when it is, then I'll leave it through probably a couple of months, empty it out, then I'll rescue a few more worms to start the bin back off again. So I have got some carpet to insulate this, but there's only bits out from the shop, and I'll put them together with gaffer tape, and it don't last very long, so I'm just waiting for some longer lengths, and I'll use it again to insulate the bins. There's another one I'd like to show you now, which I just rescued last week. This one here is a slightly smaller bin. What I'm going to do this, I'm actually going to use this into a worm composter. And I'll do it by fitting a drain tap right at the very bottom. Build a little platform with the mesh grid to stop everything falling through. But then I was thinking about getting the compost out. So what I plan to do, I've looked on the internet, you can buy these things, they use them in yachting. It's called, I think they're called deck inspection covers. Only about £6 or £8 on eBay. And I'm hoping to cut a big hole into here, and then it's a flat plate which you can under the plate and get straight into the bin, so I can get the worm casts from down the bottom. Then the top stuff, the fresher stuff, will naturally drop down to the bin and start the process all over again. I've just got this full of horse manure at the moment, which I'm going to use for filling the new bed as and when I get that done. Okay, I've decided to bite the bullet and get on with it. As you can see, this wood ain't in the best of condition, but as I said earlier, all I need this to do is to provide a containment for the soil while I prepare it. And if it lasts 12 months, that'll do me, because I've got some better plants in the garden, but they're still a bit damp at the moment and I do want to preserve them, so waiting for that to happen, it'll just delay me. So I'm going to crack on with this, and I'm just fixing them at the moment with these 80mm screws. I've got some FD 2-inch brackets to go on the inside if need be, but I'll just try and hold this temporary bed with screws for the time being anyway. So let's get on with it. I'm about to fix the other end on now, and I'm stuck for space really for doing this, because the ground's uneven. I'm having to chock it up to square the end off. But the end I have put on, what I'm going to do is just fix a little corner brace there, and it'll just stop the end flapping around until I get the 4 sides on, and then it'll strengthen each other up then. So that's the other corner in place now. As you can see, as I pan out, I'm stuck for space for getting the other side on. There's nobody else here to give me a hand at the moment, so what I will do, I plan on tipping the whole lot up on end, and I'll put the board in between the gap and screw it in from the floor. So we'll try that to start anyway. Right, that's all the 4 sides together. It's a bit saggy in the middle, obviously due to the weight of it being propped up there, but at the moment I've got to wait for somebody to come and to give me a hand now, because there's some weight in there to lift it on my own. So in the meantime, what I'll do, I'll start clearing the edges of the path up where the edge of the planks will go. So there it is, folks, in position. Fits just nicely. The only thing I've got to do now is dig around the edges and get somewhere reasonably level, and that's part of the job done for me today. We've got some stew again tonight, and unfortunately we're coming to the end of the sweet candle carrots. That's a 3-inch pot there, just put it down just for size comparison. Parsnip, and I must say I'm a bit disappointed with the Swedes. They're a bit small this year, but the parsnips and carrots have made up for it. So sweet candle carrots, gladiator parsnip, and tweed Swede. Morning, folks. It's Monday the 15th of February and we had a real hefty frost last night. On my thermometer outside it went just to below -4, and I'm just in the greenhouse on the allotment now, and I just come to check the candles because I put them on and I'm just about flickering now, so I'll give you a little progress of how many hours we got. I'm quite surprised really. Just looking at my little notice board here, I do keep a record of when it's on and off, and latest one here was on at Friday at 2:30 in the afternoon. Now it's, as it says, it's Monday the 15th of February, and it's come 8:30, that'll have been 66 hours it's been on, so I've just added that onto the other ones. As you can see, I've got 180 hours out of that, and I'll just have them around with that. It's fantastic. It's still flickering, but what I'll probably do is extinguish them now and fill the jars back up, because I think it's forecast rather heavier for frost tonight. While browsing around the garden centre, I've noticed these tomatoes here. I've seen them, a few people growing them there, called Crimson Crush F1 variety, and they're supposed to be 100% blight resistant, but I've got a tub there. I'm going to sow them there and see how we go. After last year's episode with the Alicante, I was a bit demoralised with the outdoor stuff, so I'll use these for outdoor and see how they compare. One and all, 16th of February, and we had a really bad frost last night. It was just under -5 in this greenhouse in the garden, which is quite sheltered. Unfortunately, the old candles on the allotment greenhouse did the trick again. It just at -1.2, so it's a good saving in the temperature difference. Anyway, I've just realised it's time to crack on now. I've got me onion seeds. They've still left them in the seed trays as and when they germinated. I'm starting to go a bit leggy now, so I've really got to get them out and thinned out and potted on. So that's the first job for this morning. I'm starting to put them out into these cell trays. I can't remember where I picked these cell trays up, but if you can see there, them like a lot deeper than the normal usual ones we get, and so I'll put them in there and let them go from there. Right, that's them watered in now, and I've put my trusty label on the front, as you can see. One thing you might notice, I've added a number at the front there. That's number 1. What I've done that for is I'll create a spreadsheet with just a column down the left hand side, numbers 1, 2, 3, so on, and then I'll just put the variety by it. So in this case it'll be number 1, Robinson's Mammoth. I'll create this in the spreadsheet, and then I upload it to my cloud drive, the Google Drive, which then I can access it more or less anywhere on my phone or computer. And as and when I pot the onions on, instead of putting a label on each pot, I just put a sticker on with number 1, and referring back to the chart, then I can tell straight away it's a Robinson's Mammoth. So that's another thing I decided to do when I got all my brassicas mixed up on my first year. So that's it. It's time to start planting the broad beans. This year I'm, like I did last year, I'm going for the Sutton, and I had a decent crop off those. So I think last year I overwintered them and planted them about October, but late this year for one reason or other, and I'm going to start them off in the root trainers. But these are the root trainers. Starting to get a bit battered and bruised now, but they are 3 years old, and I think I've had my money's worth out of them anyway. A lot of people have got mixed thoughts about these things, whether they work or not, but I tend to use them for growing my runner beans, sweet peas, and also my sweet corn. So it does give them a good root system, and they get very little disturbance in it, and that's what I'm using. This stuff here is the Levington's F2 plus S again, and I've added a bit of very finely ground perlite into it, so apart from that, it's straight out the bag. have a quick look at the beans. They seem to be okay, non-rot or nothing, so I'll just get on with planting them now. Right, I'm just popping these in now. There's a lot of discussion, opinions on how you should sow these beans, scar side up or down. With me, I tend to plant the scar side down because you get the root and the seed leaf, the cotyledon, I think they call them, coming out, and they'll find their own road anyway. I mean, back in nature, when the beans are scattered all over the place, nobody puts them in one way or other, and they seem to do okay. So just stick them in, water them, and they'll do their own thing. So that's all done now. All that's left now is to cover the holes in. And oh, there's one popped up there. All done and dusted. There we go. Labelled up. Just water them now, put the cover on, and wait for them to germinate. I decided to put the propagator with the broad beans in the greenhouse on the allotment because it does get quite a bit of sun, and I'm sure they'll be up and sprouted quite soon. Well, the sun's back out again. It's a glorious day, and I think I'm the only one here on the plot. Originally the plan today was to dig these beds in. Well, we haven't had an almond now, but and the soil's still a bit wet. What I had done now, I'd planned to just put the fork over, but when I went to pick my wellies up, I'd realised I'd left them outside, and I tipped them up, and there's a waterfall come outside. So them are in the back garden, hanging up to dry to get the moisture out. And in the meantime, I decided I got my strawberry bed over there. What I will do then is start getting the weeds out and get that ready. And as if by magic, there it is done. If only it was that easy. That brings another episode to close, and as well as out on the plot this afternoon, I was thinking that, realise now the daylights are extending, and it does bring home that the gardening season is now starting more or less upon us. And it's normally this time of the year that I start to get a bit excited that the gardening season and the gardening shows are approaching. Malvern is usually the first one I attend, but however, Christmas has come a bit early for me this year as the edible garden show has moved farther towards me. I've been aware of this for a few years, but because it was down in the London area, I felt it a bit too long to go. However, now it's moved up to Stoneleigh Park in Warwickshire, which not quite on my doorstep, but it's only 3/4 of an hour away, so I'm going to pay that a visit. That's running on Friday the 11th to Sunday the 13th of March, and I'll plan to go on the Saturday the 12th. I'll probably be there most of the day. There's a number of people looking on the website giving talks, and there people off the TV. And now Mick Poulton is there. You may remember him as the guy I did a little interview with 2 or 3 episodes back. They called him the Compost King. Mick will be there to have a chat with if you can understand him. The other one is Sean and Vivi off the Horticultural Channel. Sean has got a stand on there, and him together with Vivi will be there for the 3 days. I have actually dropped Sean a mail telling him that I'd be at the show on the Saturday, and because I want to meet up with a few YouTubers there, I asked him if it'd be okay if I could go on the stand, and he's got no objection to that. So in return, I'll help out on there when he requires it. And I'm hoping to meet up with quite a few people on there. I know Aaron from Aaron's Allotment, he's going to come up on the Saturday, hopefully, and I'll be having a word with him regarding his grow lights, which seem to be going quite well, and also his Tascam recorder, which I'll pick one up as a birthday present. Jamie from Overgrow, the UK, he'll be there, so if you've got any queries on hydroponics or anything, here's the guy who'll answer your questions for you. And I've noticed on a few of the comments of other videos that Julie Drake and I think Marina Wilson will be coming on the Saturday as well, so it'll be great to meet up. So I thought a central point like the channel stand, to say Sean doesn't mind us all congregating on there. So I hope to see you all, or most of you if they're there. Anybody what don't contribute on to the channel with comments on that, even if you just watch it, come up and say hello, and it'll be nice to meet people and put some names to faces and that. So hope to see you there, and until next time then, see you later, bye for now.